In the focus of the program within the process is detailed process of production from the idea to final result under the brand Made in Kazakhstan. The program shows us an amazing world of projects, technologies and industrial developments.
Eggs for breakfast. What a perfect way to start the day. They're tasty, healthy and low in calories. Today I'm having eggs sunny side up, but it's also possible to soft or hard boil them, or to make an omelette. Add a cup of fresh coffee. A great breakfast. Life is beautiful. Yet one question still bothers me. What came first, the chicken or the egg? In order to answer this question, we went to a poultry farm and are now ready to tell you all about its operations. Hello, you're watching The Process, a program in which we tell you in detail about how it works. Today, the lenses of our cameras are focused on the production process of eggs. The nutritive properties of chicken eggs were known even back in ancient India, where 2,500 years ago chickens were domesticated for the first time. Eggs have many nutritive substances and a full variety of easily digestible proteins. Eggs are rich in vitamins A, E, D, B12, B3, as well as magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, and calcium. But back then, when people just discovered the benefits of eggs, they were considered a delicacy, because chickens laid no more than 30 eggs per year. Today, thanks to new technologies for the maintenance, feeding, and taking care of the birds, modern poultry farms have increased the chicken's egg-laying rate at least tenfold. The operations of the poultry farm never stop, since the main producers, the chickens, are living beings and not mechanisms that can be turned on and off. Their life and productivity fully depends on the people working at the farm. That is why it is important to keep a strict order and technological discipline. All the employees must follow rules, violation of which may lead to a disruption in production. The poultry farm is always maintained in a clean state. This is necessary in order to safeguard the birds from contracting infections. That is why all the farm employees, before entering its territory, always have to change into clean clothes and shoes. The farm's guests are given out robes and boot covers. After compliance with all the sanitary and hygiene rules, employees can get to work. There are two types of poultry farms. The first type is where baby chicks are hatched from incubation eggs and then grow up to become laying chickens, and other types of farms buy already hatched eggs. The farm that we are visiting is of a second type. Here first was the chicken, not the egg. Baby chicks that are just 1 day old are delivered here and are raised to become laying chickens. Before the delivery of each batch of baby chicks, their cages are washed and disinfected. This is done to avoid infections. Baby chicks are very susceptible to infections, and that is why it is very important to keep their containers very clean. Once the container is disinfected and prepared, its new residents settle in. In the first 5 days, the temperature in the containers is kept at 34 to 35 degrees Celsius, which is the most comfortable for the chicks. Also, a special feed is prepared for them, a so-called baby food for birds. All this is necessary in order to accelerate the process of their development and improve their future potential as laying chickens. These chicks are 2 weeks old. For now, they are kept in a container under a special regime of feeding and maintenance.
Прошло 100 дней.
100 days have passed and our chicks have already grown up and are almost ready for their main role. Very soon they will start to lay eggs. Raising and maintenance of laying chickens is a labor-intensive process. One of the main factors of successful production of eggs is the right feeding regime. That is why the poultry farm has a fodder department. Here feed is developed and prepared for the birds. Good feed consists of at least 10 elements. Aside from crops such as wheat and corn, it contains extruded soy, sunflower oil, and even limestone. Also, a vitamin complex is added, which has all the necessary microelements for the healthy development of the birds. All the components that go into the bird feed pass a control stage. The ingredients are delivered to the farm, and their samples are first sent to a laboratory. Modern equipment also determining the quality of the product in just minutes. Only after passing quality control, these components are sent to the fodder department. There they are granulated, mixed in the right proportions, and distributed among the containers with the birds. The poultry farm has to have at least a 1-month supply of feed, since disruptions in feeding cannot happen under any circumstances. Another very important factor in the maintenance of chickens is their health. That is why the poultry farm has a veterinary service. The vets watch after the health of the birds, conduct prophylactic measures and vaccinations. The last and most important vaccination is done a couple of days before the transfer of young chickens, the flock of adult chickens, where they begin to lay eggs. Thus, the healthy adult chickens are ready to perform their functions. Containers with the laying chickens are maintained at quite a cool temperature. 18 to 23 degrees Celsius is the most optimal level for increasing the bird's productivity. Thus, the poultry farm is able to reach a productivity level of 97%, which is a very high indicator. In the industrial zone, all the 4 levels of cages have birds in them. Laying chickens are distributed at 7 per cage. In each container like this one, 50,000 birds can be kept. The bottoms of the cages are slightly tilted so that the laid eggs roll immediately onto a transporter. Each level of cages has another transporting band passing underneath. It serves for getting rid of bird droppings, which fall onto it through the latticed bottom of the cages. Thanks to this setup, the containers are kept odor-free and the eggs clean. The container with the chickens is adjoined to the storage area where eggs ready for sale are stored. Thus, eggs are moved along the conveyor belt right to the storage where they are sorted and packaged. Before packaging, it is important to check the eggs for cracks. This is done by looking at the eggs under a light, but not like this, of course. The poultry farm has an egg cattling device for this very purpose. It shines light on the eggs as they move along the conveyor belt. The person responsible for sorting the eggs checks them and takes out the ones that are damaged. Afterwards, the eggs move along the conveyor belt to be weighed. Distribution of eggs by categories is done in accordance with their weight. After weighing, a calibrating device immediately marks the eggs and sends it along a conveyor belt line, which corresponds to its category. Operators load up the cardboard trays that are filled with eggs on the conveyor. However, after this, a specialist once again checks the trays for damaged eggs. This ensures that consumers do not end up with eggs that are damaged or have cracks or dirt on them. A fresh batch of eggs is packed and ready to be shipped off to stores. The poultry farm works non-stop. Chickens do not understand the concepts of weekends or holidays. That is why stores always have fresh eggs. However, eggs are a type of product that can be stored for at least a month. From the moment of production during the first 7 days, they are considered to be particularly healthy and can even be eaten raw. When eaten raw, they are said to be beneficial for the vocal cords. If I was a singer, I would have eaten this egg raw and jumped right on the stage to conquer the audiences. You are watching The Process, a program in which we tell you in detail about how it works and thereby shift your perspective on things that surround us in our daily lives. My name is Nazar Muhammad Jan. Until next time.